You're listening to the Daily Sales Tips podcast, and I'm your host, Scott Ingram. Today's tip comes from Meshell Baker. Meshell is a certified sales confidence igniter and an authentic selling crusader. She helps business owners and sales leaders tap into unlimited human potential to create diverse and inclusive culture change and disrupt the sales training status quo. Here she is.
Hello. Today, I want to share with you a sales tip around competence versus confidence. Now, competence is your skill, your understanding, your learningness about your product, your service, your offer. And confidence is your ability to deliver that understanding with mastery. It's that comfort level that you have when you're speaking about it and your ability to adapt throughout the sales call process. Now, how I want to share with you this tip is with an analogy. So I'm going to use athleticism because most people understand it. We watch games, we play games, but with athleticism, top performing athletes in any sports arena are paid to practice, not to perform. It's interesting because as the viewer of these athleticisms, we think they're paid to perform because that's for the most part, the only time we go is for that performance. We go to be entertained. We see it that one time, right? So when you go to watch a football game or you go to a basketball game or a baseball game or any game, soccer, you see that person that one time. Rarely do we spend all the time with them when they're at practice, when they're getting up early, when they're staying late, when they're doing additional practices, when they've hired additional coach because they want to do something a different way. Or just take basketball, LeBron, when he's making those shots and he's maneuvering his body to do all of these things that in the middle of the game, people are watching it and our hands go up to our mouths and we make these noises and these faces and we're like, oh my God, did you see that? That's practice. That's mastery. The same skill can be acquired in sales, and it demands practice, repetition. It demands facing the fear that you will fail, instead creating the vision of success and doing what it takes to develop that vision, which still doesn't ensure that you make the game-winning shot. It still doesn't ensure that you win. What it does, however, ensure that you deliver your absolute best and you come as close as possible, and more likely you raise your ability to win. So in the sale, that's you getting that client. That's you having them follow up. That's them being excited about working with you. That's you delivering an experience that allows them to give you recommendations, referrals, repeat businesses. This is what the practice does. Unfortunately, what many sales reps do is they learn what they're taught at the company, they learn the basics, and they go out and they think they're going to make all these sales and they're nervous and they're complaining. What I am saying to you today is you want to be a top performer, you must add to what you've learned. It's up to you to do the additional practices. We don't get paid to practice in business, we get paid to perform. So the reverse is happening here. And what you're required to do on your own is to go practice. And the most successful salespeople surround themselves with people that elevate them and challenge them to be their best and remind them that it's not about the close, it's about what you propose. And as long as you're proposing value, remember, you will keep that client at some point. They will either be a referral or they will become a client in the future. But when you try to close people who are not ready to sell, you are trying to get the result versus just perform the valuable service that you have to offer in that client conversation. So go out, practice, find someone to practice, find yourself a tribe, and get to be the best at your game, and watch the other reps or the other businesses around you as you're selling. Start to do that like you're the LeBron of your industry. Oh, I can't believe they got that sale. It's up to you. Have a great day, and thank you.
To connect with Meshell and for a link to her website, just click over to DailySales.Tips/976. Once you've done that, be sure to come back tomorrow for another great sales tip. Thanks for listening.